Hi, it's Dina with Pretty Productive. Welcome back to my channel. Today what I'm going to be doing is an October week 3 check-in, paying myself back, and cash stuffing some incremental income. Today though, I'm going to need to flip the script today because instead of taking the incremental income, pulling out cash, and then deciding where it was going to go, I did the opposite this time because I knew I had spent a lot in categories that I was very low on. So I went ahead and added all my transactions, added up the categories, looked what I had in my envelopes, and then took the incremental income and filled the envelope so that I wasn't over in any particular category. So I'm just going to flip it around so I'm not going back and doing it a second time. So let's get started. We'll first add up the transactions and calculate how much we take from each category, then we'll cash stuff, and then come back and finish out returning the money to the bank. So I hope you are all doing well, and let's get started. So the first one that we're going to add up is groceries. I will tell you, my daughter and son-in-law moved out on Tuesday the 21st. We've eaten out every single meal since they left. So I told my husband yesterday that we need to start eating at home because it's getting ridiculous. So for groceries, we did Costco for $118. And we did Walmart for $83. So $201 in groceries. And that was really just kind of filling in like a restock more so than any fresh foods. $201. I started the week with $492. For eating out, I started with $92. And it was Sonic for $31. In-N-Out for $21. $52. I need to put a bookmark there. Apologize if you hear my daughter's dog. He spent the night last night. For spending, Savers for $3. Didn't realize they had card-only lanes. Cat Collage, it is a digital sticker that I print, $8. And then Bambinos for $75. So because I did not have money in entertainment, the night before they moved out, we had a big dinner at a place called Bambinos, and that was $75. So that really kind of wiped out most of my spending money. So I have $153 is what I started with. My mom is still at $40. I do owe my sister money for, they did trick-or-treating at her place, and my sister picked up the candy, so I need to pay her back $20. So I'll be using $20 this week. Gas, I did not get gas this week, though I will be getting it today. I'm starting with $140. Miscellaneous, I have not spent yet. Household, I have not spent. Entertainment, I only had $2, so you can see what happens there. Medicine, $72. And personal care, $327. And all of this spending is going to be this week. So they'll be out there. Okay, so my mom was nothing. Gas, miscellaneous, entertainment. Entertainment I did spend, but I'm going to cash stuff that too. So I'm going to put $58, and I'm adding $60. So it's kind of the opposite of what I should have been doing. And then medicine, I had one for $7. I don't really have a color for medicine. That's part of the problem. But it was $8. And then personal care, no. Okay, so some of the spending that I did, a lot of the spending I did was out of my sinking funds. I just want to make sure I got everything on here. This was my entertainment. Okay, so just a quick look at the transaction log. I'm going back and forth today. So we started this week right here, and then mainly just bills, and then like planning I spent out of, Etsy I spent out of, but you're gonna see that in just a moment. Okay, so let's just kind of put this to the side for a minute. Well, no, I do need this page. So for my incremental income, I thought I was going to have 4 more checks, but really one was the one I did in September. So I had 3 checks. So an incremental income for this month was $720. And I'm only putting it here because when I look at my yearly spreadsheet, I like to know what I brought in incrementally so that when I look at next year's budget, I kind of have a gauge of, did I need that extra money to make the month, or was it just kind of extra money? So my estimated income was $6,604 and my actual income was $7,324. I'm not working this week, so I won't have any additional income this week. So this is what I'm cash stuffing, and then we'll take out the money that goes back to the bank, and then this will be part of the money that needs to go back to the bank. So let's start over here. This is the cash. So it should be 210. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 91, 105, 205, 215, 210. You know what I mean, 210. I really should have had some caffeine first. Okay, so the first one that's going to go in is for date night / entertainment. There's currently $2 in here. I'm going to cash stuff 60. So now there is $62. So 20, 40, 61, 2. That's all that needs to go into that one. And then this is the one that I kind of did some damage in. So clothing, I replaced shoes that I had. They're like recovery shoes, and they were literally falling apart. I think my toes were coming through. So they had them on super clearance because they're normally like $140, and they were on clearance. I got them for $88 with tax and shipping. So I went ahead and did that. So I'm starting with 40 and I'm adding 50, 20, 40, 50. So now I have 20, 40, 60, 80, 90. And then this will surprise nobody, but I put 40 into planning. So 50, 70, 90, 110, 120, 125, 26, 27, 28, 29. So 129. I'll update my tracker later. And then beauty is getting 20. So I currently have 40, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 60. And then the last one, the last 40 is Thanksgiving. Now, I have offered to host this year. I think I mentioned that in my last one. but I'm still getting a head count. So this obviously is not going to be enough. So 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 100. So I'll probably put another 100 in here, if not more. So I'll have enough for next month. Okay, so that $210 went really fast. So let's go back now and go ahead and take out the money that we need to take out. I'm looking for my, oh, here it is. Okay. So just to keep it straight in my mind, this is how I have to write it down. So I bought labels for my shop, 2 different ones, so that was $133. I've already transferred that from my sinking fund for Etsy onto my card. For medical, because I didn't do the beginning of the month ones because I knew I was having more, I went ahead and wrote them all down for the month, and that was a total of $594. So I went ahead and transferred $600 from my medical spending account onto my card. So with Capital One, you can do 3 payments at a time. So I did the Etsy one, I did medical, and then I did my second half of my bills, which was $500. So those 3 have all been sent over to Capital One as payment. And then on Monday, those payments will go through, and then I can turn around and do my month ending payments that I still need to do. When I added up what I had in my back to bank, which was $1,008, plus what I spent this month so far, this week so far, I am $140 off. So when I looked back through, it wasn't even that I had spent $140 more in October. It's, I think, a rollover from September. So I clear my card on I clear my card on the 2nd of the month, and there are things that came in for September after that. So I just will need to pull $140 additional out of my checking account to pay onto my card. It could also have been different Venmos because there's so many Venmos that are going on that I don't know if I've captured them all. So I just took out a Venmo $290. I know that goes back onto my card, but I kind of will roll that into my final payment. So I think I'm pretty much a wash for this month, which is great. It's not always the case. So let's go back to our categories that we constantly are pulling from. Okay, so the first one is groceries. I will tell you, when we started drinking protein shakes in the morning, they were a pack of 30. We used to do the pure protein, and I really didn't like it, so we switched over to Fairlife. And Fairlife is a little bit more expensive. But each pack now, and there's not even 30 in there, I think there's 24, is $35. So we usually will buy 2 packs at a time. So right off the top, that was $70 of the $118 that we spent at Costco. So, you know, I find that it's like, I like having them in the morning. My husband likes drinking them in the morning, but they just have gotten very expensive, like everything in life. But okay, so for groceries, $201. So 2 and 1. I did get $10 in ones, and I switched that out for some 5s. So I now have some ones to work with. So 201. Going back in here. So I started with $492. Minus 201, I should have 291. So 150, 250, 270, 291. Okay, that is correct. Now I am planning to go grocery shopping today, just so we can eat at home this week. So that will, I'd like to have a little bit of leftover, and then maybe I can roll that into Thanksgiving. Eating out was, we started with 92. 52 is what I owe. 20, 40, 52. and that leaves me with 40. That makes sense. So spending, I started with 153 and I used 86. 20, 40, 60, 80, 5, 86. 20, 40, 60, 85, 86. So if I started with 153 minus 86, I should have 67 left. 20, 40, 65, 66, 67. I have had $2 in my wallet all month long, so you'll see some really little things that I use cash. If I could have used cash, I didn't have the cash with me. I'm just finding more and more places just have self-checkouts and cards are easier. So 67 left in spending. I would love to be able to put this into my savings challenge, so hopefully I will be able to. Okay, I didn't write groceries down. 492 minus 201, 291. And then I did not get gas. Let me go back to this one. So groceries done, eating out, spending is done. Entertainment, I need to take out 58. $20, $40, $60. And take back 2. So instead of $2, I now have $4. So there'll be no entertaining this week. And then medicine, I need to take out 8. So I'm going to put in 10 and take out 2. So I started with 72 minus 8. 64 is what I should have. So 20, 40, 61, 2. I am short $1. Because it's still sitting here. 64. 20, 40, 61, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, so medicine is done. And then I need to take 90 out of clothing and 61 out of planning. So planning, 61, 50, 61. And so I think it was at 129, right? Minus 61, I should have 68, 20, 40, 65, 66, 67, 68. Okay, so 68 left in planning. And then clothing was 90, which is what I have in there right now. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90. I'm trying really hard not to buy anything, but if I need to replace something, it's kind of a no-brainer. If you have to, you have to. Okay, so that is there for that. So clothing and planning. So that was everything that I needed to either pay myself back for on my card. These were transfers right here. These two were transfers. And then this is all cash. So I'm almost afraid to add this up again. 61 plus 90 plus 8 plus 58 plus 86 plus 52 plus 201. 556. I'm going to do it one more time. 61 plus 90 plus 8 plus 58 plus 86 plus 52 plus 201. 556. Okay. Now we had 1,008 last week plus 556. I should have 1,564. Okay, so in my back to bank, I'm going to just make sure this is right for, should have 50. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Okay, this was not back to bank, this is my rollover money. So I'm going to try that again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. I'm going to put this one in there just because I know I had 50 when I started. So $50 is going back into my envelope for my rollover money. It does get easier towards the end of the month. I have more change in my envelopes, so this will be good for next month. So that means I should have 1,564. That last little dollar might have messed me up, but we'll find out. So in ones, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 500. In 50s, I have 1, 2, 200. 20s, 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 40, 60, 86, 20, 40, 60, 87, 20, 40, 60. So 760. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, 1,564. That is correct. I know I'm always surprised when it's right. So I did spend some time last night kind of really going into a deep dive on my credit card statement. So what I have here, plus what I've already paid, plus that other $140 that I'm kind of rolling over from September, my card will be cleared. So I'll make my final payment on my card for November 2nd. So, but I already have added in bills that have not come in yet. So bills like my Audible bills at the end of the month, I've already added that on, even though it's not physically on my card yet. I know it's coming, so I go ahead and add that in, and I take all of that into account when I am ready to pay off that card. So should not be a little rollover amount like the 140 going into November, because everything should be cleared by now. Okay, that's everything for this video. I am starting to work on my November budget. It is a little bit easier than my October budget was, but I have already committed for hours in November and December, not the full month of December, just the first week. So I do have an idea of what my incremental income is going to look like for, you know, the next 2 months, but again, I don't budget for that because it could go away. If I got sick or events got canceled or budgets got cut, that's why I don't plan on it. But I do want to not do what I just did, which is have to fill categories of money I've already spent. I would prefer that there it's above and beyond. So that means I need to cut back on my spending, which in my case, I need to be updating my transactions more than just once a week. That's where I get into trouble. So that is everything for this video. If you have not subscribed already, please do so. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care.